tragedy happened in the States that changed a lot of things, a lot of businesses, travel especially. You were a travel agent, or in the travel business at the time. Travel changed greatly. A lot of people lost their lives due to the terror that happened. So I was just remembering that while I was waiting for you.
Do you know what I was remembering? When we were in New York City, and at the base of the Twin Towers, there was giant letters that said
And it
peace,
said peace
on Earth.
on Earth. And we got our pictures taken.
That was December 2010.
Man, that was
Were we
a
there
long
just
time
the year
ago.
before? 2010.
2000, yeah.
We were there. We were there the December, and then it happened in September.
There's very few occasions where I would remember where it was, but I remember where I was, and I was in Toronto driving tractor trailers, and I'd like to listen to the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern was at point zero. So I got to my pickup early in the morning, or whatever time in the morning. I got to my pickup, and I heard Howard on the radio saying, like, they kind of went off their show, and he said a plane has hit the Twin Towers. And I'm thinking, like, what are the odds of, like, a little Cessna airplane going, just ran into it. And then by the time I got back in my truck, it was full blowing, things were happening, and
it happened quickly.
Things were never the same after that.
It happened very quickly. So I was thinking about...
Where were you? You were downtown Ottawa.
Okay, do you know what I was thinking about? No, I was actually at home. I was on vacation. And so I had the news on for some reason.
Yeah, I remember.
I was waiting for your mom or your dad or something.
And I drove home, and we were all very anxious.
Here's what I was thinking. I was remembering watching news footage of the shooter running up to Parliament Hill. I was there when I was on Parliament Hill when that happened. But I remember watching news footage of, like, this guy with a gun running to the hill and people running away. And I remember thinking it would take a pretty, like, amazing kind of person to run towards. Like, if somebody had just tackled, right? If someone had just, like, tackled that guy, because he didn't look, I don't know, he didn't look like he could really fight anybody off, like if someone caught him off guard or whatever. So I just remember thinking that would take a pretty amazing kind of person, and thinking about, like, as those Twin Towers were burning and all that smoke and all the chaos, I was thinking about all the first responders who ran towards. I was just thinking about what kind of person it takes to run towards danger, and how, like, incredible that is, and that I don't have it at all. I mean, sometimes I think you do. Sometimes I think, no.
Well, I think you have to be trained, and I think you have to be courageous and know who you are and what your mission is.
Or maybe just, like, a little bit stupid.
And I think you can...
Or a little bit not necessarily caring about your own life, right? And so I feel like...
But put it in the spiritual realm, which we can be, which we are a part of now. And we're fighting a spiritual battle. So we can do that with people that are fighting for their lives, people in addiction, people in codependency, and we're going towards them, not running away from them. And I would say most of culture and society runs away from those people. And we are those people. So we can be trained and run towards them in the spiritual battle. Yeah.
I just think about
picture.
that. I think that those first responders that went to the Twin Towers knew that they thought they were going to die. Like, they just did not expect to come out. And there's crazy stuff going on right now in the States.
It's unbelievable.
I was watching
there's lots of unbelievable stuff happening.
Something about the National Guard, like, going into, like, there was 200 people trapped with fire all around them the other day. This was, like, 2 days ago. And the National Guard went, like, and did multiple trips in to rescue people from, they were, like, completely encircled by wildfires. And they did, like, multiple trips flying in and out of danger. I thought, man.
Well, our thoughts and prayers with everybody that is in crisis, that has been in crisis. We just come against the plans of the enemy in the name of Jesus, and even the trauma that comes from these situations. Even with COVID, there's going to be a lot of fear and trauma within generation to come, probably, because that's changed the world. All right, September 11th, conflict and detachment.
Ooh la la.
Ooh, now we go one step farther from detachment. We go into conflict
Ooh la
and detachment.
la.
This one's for me. I need to know this one. In a relationship, there are wonderful times when things go smoothly for both people, and neither person needs to focus too heavily on the concept of detachment. But there are those challenging times when one person is in crisis or changing, and we need to detach. Then there are stressful cycles when both people in a relationship, in the midst of dealing with intense issues, both are needy and neither has anything to give. There are times when detachment is taking care of ourselves in difficulty. Are difficult. These are times when detachment and taking care of ourselves are difficult. It is helpful in these moments to identify the problem. Both people are in the midst of dealing and healing. Neither has much to give, at least at the moment. And both are feeling particularly needy. What is the problem? What is the solution? That is the problem. What is the solution? There may not be a perfect solution. Detachment is still the key, but that can be difficult when we need support ourselves. In fact, the other person may be asking for support rather than offering it. We can still work towards detachment. We can still work through our feelings. We can accept this as a temporary cycle in the relationship and stop looking to the other person for something he or she cannot give at the moment. We can stop expecting ourselves to give at the moment as well. Communication helps. Identifying the problem and talking about it without blame or shame is a start. Figure out an alternative support system or ways to get our needs met helps. We are still responsible for taking care of ourselves even when we are in the best of relationships. We can reasonably expect conflicts of need and of clashing of issues to occur in the most loving, healthy relationships. It is one of the cycles of love, friendship, and family. If it is a healthy relationship, the crisis will not go on endlessly. We will regain our balance. The other person is too. We can stop making ourselves so crazy by looking for the other person to be balanced when he or she isn't. Talking things out. Work things out. Keep our expectation of ourselves, other people, and our relationships healthy and reasonable. A good relationship will be able to sustain and survive low points. Sometimes we need them so we can both grow and learn separately. Sometimes people who are usually there for us cannot be there for us. We can find another way to take care of ourselves. Prayer for today. Today I will remember my best relationship have my best relationships have low points. If the low point is the norm, I may want to consider the desirability of the relationship. If the low point is a temporary cycle, I will practice understanding for myself and the other person. God, help me remember that the help and support I want and need does not come from the only one person. Help me be open and healthy. Help me be open to healthy options for taking care of myself if my normal support system is not available. Amen.
Good
That's
job.
good.
That was a really long one. Why are you closing it?
Oh, I guess I was
There's
done.
some really.
There's some-
Did that take a lot out of you? You did a really good job.
There is some gold in there.
There was some gold in there.
I was
There was.
thinking of relationships like as a boss, and I have relationships of guys that are getting sober and that have worked for me, whether it's in the intake area or just helping me run the place. And sometimes there was guys that I was way more into their recovery than they were. And so I feel like this is a good thing, a good word to employers in those types of relationships.
The concept of not wanting something for someone more than they want it for themselves.
Because I can be very attached to that.
Right.
But I think what I really got out of this is it's okay to be attached to people. We're not detached from people. We're actually attached to people, and we have healthy ties to people. And so I think that I've had situations even recently where there was relationship issues with other people, and I wanted it to get sorted out, and I had to go, this is your problem,
Right.
and I'm no longer invested in it. Like this, I want you to be, and so I think that's a low point, a low cycle in the relationship, and I think I love that part of
In the prayer?
yeah
At the
yeah.
end?
I may, if the low point is the norm, I may want to consider the desirability of the relationship. But I can look at these relationships of a low point in it and just go, that's okay, because
It's a
it's not
cycle.
my problem.
All right, so do we need to take a moment? And do you need to consider the desirability of this relationship?
It's like a roller coaster ride. There's a high point, a low point. I think our relationship is becoming much more. Pastor Andy says the desirability of a undramatic life.
So then I had another question for you. Are you taking care of yourself?
Am I taking care of myself?
That's what it asked.
I like to take care of myself.
Are
yes.
you taking care of yourself
Yes.
in this time?
I
Are
would
you
say
doing what you need to do for you?
Yeah, I would say I have ups and downs in that, in the physical department, and sometimes motivating in the morning department. But I would say a little bit of a cycle for myself.
Do you think it's affected greatly by sort of this like? Do you think it would? Do you think if all the restrictions in the external world lifted, and you could move freely amongst the people and the world and the places, would that? Do you think that that's being affected right now? That's affecting how you act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point the external I would say has affected, and I think that my heart has been like, this is more of the norm now, and so I feel a lot more motivated, especially in the last month, maybe 2 months. And then just some of the stuff that you've been involved in, we've been involved in, going to meetings, AA meetings or CODA meetings outside of
Right.
our where what we've never even seen before. So some of that stuff has been super encouraging.
So I felt like it's important to do like a brief commercial break and just say, if you're just joining us, we are reading a book of The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie, which she talks greatly about codependency. So this is daily meditations on codependency. And I started going to Codependence Anonymous at the beginning of 2020. And John and I have moved greatly in our relationship. I think that this reading about conflict and detachment that we just finished reading, if we rewound how far? 4 years? We'd be having a very different conversation.
I would say we could rewind at January.
Before January.
When things were going
So what doesn't
sideways.
work in relationship is for one person to tra-la-la and just like look at all the external things. And the realization that I had yesterday was basically that I was looking at the external, and like, if John could just do this, if John could just talk nicer, if John could just be more patient, if John could just not nitpick at everything.
You're just getting high off adrenaline this whole time.
So then what I realized was that it actually didn't matter what John did, because, are you trying to steal my coffee? Because it's like, if I have a bathtub reservoir inside of me, the plug was out. And so everything that went in just went back out. So all the love, all the affirmation,
And
all the
you're a
accolades,
victim,
all
and
the,
you're hurt,
like, it
and
just
you're
went right
angry.
through me. And so nothing was staying in my reservoir. And so I actually feel like in January, or it was after my job ended at the end of
said you had a
October,
thimble of
capacity.
You don't have a bathtub, you have a thimble.
But everything was going right
Yeah.
through. And so I feel like in January, when I made a decision to like say, okay, every week I'm going to go to this meeting, CODA meeting. I go to a CODA meeting every week at noon, every Thursday at noon. I go to an online CODA meeting now, and I just show up every week. And I remember at the very beginning thinking like, I don't know how amazing this meeting actually is. But it's not about the meeting. It's about me showing up every week and me continuing to do these things that I sort of baby stepped into, like, okay, so now I need to add this. And okay, maybe now I'll give myself a schedule, because for so long I lived without a schedule. And a schedule really changed lots for me. Although I am struggling with sticking with it, I have really been greatly affected by the weather changing internally. I have been greatly saddened by the disappearance of the heat and sunshine.
But at least if you have a schedule, you can see where your will is being strong against this is what I want to do. And now I'm not doing it. So I'm full of me and self.
Me and self. And so I feel like this is where this word detachment for so often got such a bad rap. But for me, I detached from like plugging into you to be my life source. And like, so I feel like I unplugged from like needing John to do this or be this or talk nicer or all the stupid things that I nitpick about, to like, all right, I'm going to unplug from that. And then now I'm just going to like do something.
Recovery.
I'm going to do recovery, and I'm going to have purpose for myself, and I'm going to like try to figure this thing out. And so it's been an interesting process.
Yeah, and now you're going to meetings like outside in New York, in San Diego. There's a whole group of people that we're connecting with, and I just feel that you're really on a process of getting your life out of recovery and not putting recovery into your life. And so many people do that with the Christian life, the life with Jesus. It's like a sprinkling, and it's a add-on, and it's like, no, pick up your cross and die. Come into recovery. Come and let me give you a new life. I'm not an add-on. This recovery isn't an add-on. It's a new life. And so you had circumstances and such as losing your job and then COVID. And so it's actually whatever happens from this forward is a new life.
Right.
And I'm here with you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Woo!
Thanks for that.
Oh.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for sticking it out.
I have another thought to share, but I think I'll save it for another day. Remind me.
We're in 18 minutes.
Yeah, remind me.
What's your?
I'm gonna do it.
Tell me.
No, we're saving
just real
it.
quick. What is it? And then I can.
Something to do with the accident, with the wreck, the
your
car
car
wreck,
accident.
the car wreck. Yeah. So just
I picked
ask
up your
me
parts
another
yesterday.
day. Thank you so much for taking
called
care
for
of that.
anyway.
But just ask me another day what I realized about the car wreck.
I will do.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Make it a long one. No one can stop us.
Do something fun.
Monday. See ya Fun Day Monday when we do our draw.
And if you like or comment or share, we will enter you in our contest, because we give away a t-shirt, a hat.
We've given a lot of
or
stuff
a
away.
6-pack of kombucha every single week.
Every Monday. And